Hey, what's going on, y'all? Mike here, Sports and the Real Shit. So, 30 days left till the NFL season starts. I thought, hey, sports fans are excited. I'm excited. Let's do a jersey countdown. Best players to wear jersey numbers 30 all the way down to 1. Maybe we'll even do 0. I don't know how many players have worn 0. I feel like 0 is like a recent trend with the NFL relaxing the rules. We'll see. So we're going to do a countdown of the top players wearing jersey numbers 30, 29, 28, and all the way on down until opening day of the NFL. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited too. And for some reason, I decided to do this thing. So let's get into it. Y'all with me? So start with number 30. Again, I should say this is my opinion and my opinion alone. I am the lone voter of this. So don't be offended if I don't choose your favorite player or if my opinions don't match yours. All right? That's the disclaimer. But all right, let's get going. Number 30. It ain't that many dudes that actually wore number 30 over the years, y'all. It's kind of surprising, actually, when you think about it. It ain't that many dudes who wore number 30 and actually balled out. Well, let me say that again. Plenty of dudes wore number 30. Not many of, we call them great players, wore number 30. All right? So, first player on the list. You guys remember Ahman Green? So for those who followed football in the 2000s, especially those who play fantasy football, this cat was a monster fantasy football point maker, all right? Scored a lot of points in fantasy football. Ahman Green played 12 years in the league, played primarily with the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre years, 4-time Pro Bowler, 9,205 total career rushing yards, another 2,800 receiving yards, 74 combined touchdowns. He had 6 1,000-yard season. He had a monster 2003 season. I feel like that's when he put up a lot of stats in fantasy football, all right? 1,883 yards, 367 receiving yards, 20 total touchdowns. And he did not win MVP that year because they gave it to Steve McNair and Peyton Manning as co-MVPs. And the crazy thing is, he didn't even have the best rushing stats that year. That went to Jamal Lewis, who had over 2K. Maybe that's why Ahman Green is kind of forgotten when you're talking about some of the best running backs from the past, couple decades. His name doesn't really come up, and I think it should because at his peak with the Green Bay Packers, this dude put up some yards. He was nice, all right? He left Green Bay for a while, came back, and the second go-around, he wore number 34. But we'll go with number 30 because that's what he wore for the majority of his career. So first candidate for best player to wear number 30 is Ahman Green with the Green Bay Packers against four-time Pro Bowler, over 9,000 yards rushing for his career. Next candidate is somebody we should remember recent years, Todd Gurley.
Cardinals offense to the Rams offense. Gurley, a big gainer up through the middle, breaks it to the outside. Gurley inside the 25, all the way down to the 15. Second game as a professional, and that's a little SEC.
Todd Gurley, man, he was that guy. And honestly, if Todd hadn't gotten hurt at UGA, I felt like he would have been even more of a stud in the league. But even still, in his past happy league, he was a baller. Again, for those who play fantasy football, he scored a lot of touchdowns, but only played 6 years in the league, 5 years in St. Louis, 1 in Atlanta. He actually wore 21 in Atlanta, but hey, we're going to give him credit for the number 30 that he wore in St. Louis. Again, the injury set him back in college to his knee, but he still had 3 Pro Bowls in the league, 2 All-Pros, the 2015 Offensive Rookie of the Year, the 2017 Player of the Year. His peak was that 2017 year where he had 1,305 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 receiving touchdowns. And in the following year, in 2018, he had 1,251 rushing yards, 17 touchdowns. Talk about fantasy points, and 4 receiving TDs. We all remember him as the master leaper, dude shooting for his knees on the tackle. He kind of mastered that jumping over dudes and keeping his acceleration and keep going. So Todd Gurley, career cut short, injuries and whatnot, still a baller in number 30. Maybe the best player to wear number 30 is Terrell Davis.
Tyrone Drakeford takes it at the 9 for the 49ers, and it's belted at the 19-yard line.
Now, for those who aren't old enough, don't remember Terrell Davis, go back and look at some highlights. Career cut short, but TD was nice. He was nasty, strong as hell. And then that Denver offense where they ran that zone run offense, he was amazing. I don't know if John Elway wins a Super Bowl without Terrell Davis, but he comes on the scene in 1995, gets drafted, 6th-round pick. Nothing really expected of him. He tells his story all the time, fighting for a roster spot. He ends up spending 7 years in the league. He deals with the migraines, injuries, and so on. But 7 years, 7,600 total yards, a Hall of Famer, 3-time Pro Bowler, 3 times All-Pro, NFL MVP in 98. He had 2,008 yards in 1998 with 21 touchdowns. So he ran for 2K and 21 touchdowns in 1998. Offensive Player of the Year in 1996 and 1998. That's when running backs still mattered. Super Bowl champion in Super Bowl 32 and Super Bowl 33. Again, he was the MVP of Super Bowl 32. Like I said, I don't know if Elway, as great as he was, wins a Super Bowl without TD coming on the scene. But he was a flat-out stud. So that's Terrell Davis right there in a nutshell, right? He was like lightning in terms of the length of his career, but he balled out. Nobody wanted to really see dude because he was so damn strong. But the migraines and the injuries kind of derailed what could have been a really long and really, really great career. So that's Terrell Davis. So essentially, those are the 3 historical running backs, I would say, right, that had the number 30. Austin Eckler wears number 30 now in the league. He's a baller by modern standards for running backs because running backs, there's not that many bell cow running backs anymore, right? So Austin Eckler, 21 and 22, he had 900 yards rushing and close to 700 or more than 700 yards rushing in 22 and close to 700 yards rushing in 21. So he's like a dual threat guy. He's not like the bell cow Terrell Davis, Ahman Green type of cat who's going to get the ball all the time and just run it down your throat. But especially in today's league where cats are throwing a million passes a game, right? He doesn't get that many chances to run the rock, but when he does, he's productive. And pound for pound, Austin Eckler is like one of the strongest dudes in the league. So he gets credit for that in my book, being a small dude, miniature, but really being one of the strongest dudes in the league. So that's your candidates for me we're wearing jersey number 30. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on who should be on the list, but we got Austin Eckler, we got Ahman Green, we got Todd Gurley, and we got Terrell Davis. And of that group, Ahman Green had the longest career. Honestly, he had the most yards. When you look at some of the Hall of Fame dudes, Ahman Green got better stats than a lot of the cats in the Hall of Fame. So anyway, but I'm going to say Terrell Davis was the best number 30. Only because I watched him play. I watched them both play. I watched Terrell and Ahman Green play. But I think Terrell Davis, at his peak, was one of the nastiest cats in the league. He rarely got chased down, even though he wasn't one of the faster dudes ever. He rarely got chased down. And he was, like I said, strong as hell. And his impact on teams and his impact on winning was obvious when you watched him play with the Denver Broncos. So shout out to Terrell Davis for being the best number 30 jersey according to the Sports and the Real podcast. That's it for number 30. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share it with your friends. And don't forget to come back for number 29 and 28 and so on, all right? I'm going to catch you guys another time. Peace.